This is the Dreame L60 series. We're starting off with the base model, which is the L60 Ultra FE, then the L60 Ultra PE, the L60 Ultra, and then the L60 Pro Ultra. I want to talk about a few things that all of the models have so that we can kind of get that out of the way at the beginning. All of them are going to connect to Google Home or Amazon Alexa that you can kind of talk to or give up voice commands or different things like that through your home app. All of them will come with Mop Self-Cleaning, which is going to give you 100 degrees Celsius or 200 degrees, 212 degrees Fahrenheit thermo hub, which is going to help clean that mop when it goes into the station. Your suction power is going to be anywhere from 28,000 down on this end to 35,000 kPa max on the Pro Ultra, which is the flagship mop vacuum here that we're looking at. They're all going to have the dual arm flexibility technology, which is the side brush and mop. They all have mop lifting. They all had adding solution stations. So we're actually going to jump into each box. I'm not going to do a full unboxing of each one. I'm just going to take these off and show you what it looks like. We'll get everything charged. We'll have a little bit of usage for each one, and then I'll do some voiceover and talk to you about some of the differences between all of them. Obviously, we're talking about a base model here all the way up to the flagship model. So we'll spend a little bit of time, but a lot of our time will be spent on the flagship model. Again, this is the new L60 series from Dreame. So let's kind of show you what's in each box. Again, I'm not going to do a full unboxing, but I want to just show you what comes in every box so that you're aware. And there's going to be different components in each box. I've already kind of opened them so that you can kind of get a first look. So in the box, you're actually going to get this here. You're going to get the mop, right? The actual vacuum itself, which is sitting back behind you. You're going to get a startup guide. And then also on your vacuum right here, you're going to see we have this fine brush and a rubber filter right here. And this is going to catch any hair, anything like that. I'll go through each model as we get to it. Again, this is the L60 Ultra FE model. So out of the box for everything, you're going to get some multi-service floor cleaner. You're going to get an extra filter bag. And that filter bag is actually going to be hiding right down here. So that filter bag, so you're going to get the one that comes with it, which is right here, and then the extra one right on top. Obviously the power cord there, and then all the cleaning solution, and then obviously your mop. Some subtle differences on the actual vacuum itself from the PE to the FE. You can see that we have dual blades here so that we don't get hair or anything stuck in between it. We obviously have a little bit of a riser here. Now the cool thing about this one is, again, I showed you this earlier, is these have magnets on them, they're just magnet. But then also this is just Velcroed on, so you can actually pull these off and wash these and clean them. So again, this is the PE, this is the FE. We're just moving our way down the line. So to connect, it's really easy. You're going to turn on the power.
Place robot back into dock before starting task. When hearing start charging, it means the installation is in place.
You can see they've got LiDAR navigation. Once you download the app, it's really easy to connect. You're actually going to connect to the Wi-Fi on the device, which will then connect to your Wi-Fi in your home. If there's any over-air updates, those will take place as well. Super easy.
Connected successfully.
As you're going through the process, it will
start charging. It means the installation is in place.
Okay, it will tell you every step of the way what's happening. It'll tell you when you've connected, it'll tell you when your phone is connected, it'll tell you when you've connected to the app and everything is done. So it's actually just doing some over-air updates right now. So we'll get back and get this plugged in and show you what it looks like when it's finished. So this one actually has a voice command. Okay, Dreamy.
I'm here.
Let's map the room. Return to station. Okay, Dreamy.
I'm here.
Let's return to station. Return to dock.
Resume returning to the dock.
So there's a list of commands and it comes in the manual, which will show you what you can do with that. This is the Dreame L60 Ultra Edition. Again, you're going to see rubber on both of these, which is non-hair stick. And then you're also going to see a little bit of advancement here on the brush. This is an AI brush, so as it extends to an area where it can't quite reach, this will actually extend, and then these will actually extend as well on the mopping side. So big difference here. Obviously, this is the dual cycle. This had dual, but this is dual rubber on both of these sides on the L60 Ultra. Another big difference on the L60 Ultra is just the robot itself. So the whole base comes up. It does not fold up. Again, you have your filter here that you can just pop out. There's the filter right there. But all of your power and home buttons are right here with this one-piece hard cover. So this is the Ultra level as we've jumped up between the FE and the PE.
Welcome to use Dreame Robot. Please open Robot's cover and scan QR code to download Dreame Home app to view more operations.
It's going to walk you through literally every step of the way. So a big upgrade between the PE and the FE version is this Pet 5.0 detection. You can actually take pictures of your pets, and as your vacuum mops are going around the house, when it recognizes your dog, your cat, your guinea pig, or whatever, it will avoid those animals sitting on the ground. I don't know if we're going to be able to get our dog to stay there long enough to show you, but when I get to the app, I'll show you where that is in the app. Looking at the mop from the L60 Pro Ultra, you can see why this is the flagship edition. Again, we've got the 3.5-inch riser. Okay, so it's coming back to the dock to charge. It's mapped everything. I just want to show you going over this baby gate. I mean, it's actually for a dog, but baby gate. Absolutely incredible. And then it'll bring the back end over, and then it's good to go. It can't necessarily go up full stairs, but you're going to get a lot of lift with this if you need to. It also has the VersaLift navigation. You can see there's cameras right here on the sides. Here is your dual. Okay, so we just finished a 4-room vacuum. We're going to do a mop as well, but just wanted to show you. So we did the kitchen, the living room, the hallway, and then our kind of front room that had that deep shag carpet that I showed you earlier, where we picked up all the Fruity Pebbles and stuff. So all of that should be coming in this basically clean out, where the vacuum will just basically clean itself out. And then we'll go to the mop, and I'll show you a before and after with the mop cleaning heads.
Start charging. Start auto empty.
It's gonna get pretty loud here because it pulls it all. There it is. Now, one thing that I want to show you, we're going to turn this back over, but it just went through all of our dog, wife, 2 daughters, no hair, no detangling, nothing to worry about as far as the hair. And again, wife, 2 daughters, dog, no hair in here. Absolutely fantastic. Rubber cleaners right here. Again, we have the AI where this pops out in the corners, which will help you there. Washable mop heads, different things like that. As far as the pet detection here, one of the cool things about this version is that it will send pictures or GIFs of your pets when they are there. You can see back in the actual model itself, self-cleaning, AI cleaning. It does have the voice over where you can command it with a voice as well. So we're going to show you examples of all 4 of these. Again, spending a lot of time on the flagship model, the L60 Pro Ultra. So one of the great things about this Dreame model is that it doesn't actually have to go back and forth through every single piece of the floor to create the map. What it does is it just goes to certain spots, shoots out the LiDAR or the AI, and it grabs all that stuff. It also has this really cool thing on the map, which I'll show you, is it will detect specific things. So if it's a cord or if it's a shoe, it'll actually just place that little image in the map. And so this right here, I put on the floor to see if it would catch it, and it would. Over here, in this corner, it found that these were cords, and so it avoided them. Again, we are on mapping everything with the L60 Ultra. I am really excited to get to the Pro Ultra. Still mapping. This takes a few minutes.
Sure the entire home is well lit, and do not block the room's entrance or move the robot or dock.
Okay, so this is going to start mapping. And it's going to map on its own. And I'm actually going to show you just a little bit of footage so it doesn't have to go back and forth like old mops. That's one of the things I love about these new Dreame mops, is it just uses the LiDAR to kind of scan the room. And I'll show a map. I'll put a map on the screen so you can see that. Now we're returning to the dock, and I wanted to put it just off the carpet and onto the floor to see if it could kind of handle this switch in terrain, and it looks like it's going to handle it perfectly. Again, this is the flagship model. It's got that 3.5-inch rise on it, and it's just going to back right into the charging station, which is really, really nice. So a few things about the setup between all of the different devices. This is the FE, the PE, the Ultra, and the Pro Ultra. The Pro Ultra used AI to scan the rooms. It was really, really fast. It took about 2 minutes to do. And what it also detected is it detected what kind of room it was based on the stuff that it had. And I'll show you that in the map. The L60 Ultra also used AI. It wasn't as fast. It was about 3 minutes. And the difference between these two going up a steps again is the 3.5 inches to 1.5 inches. These three models right here, the L60, the L60 Ultra, and the L60 Pro Ultra all have voice command. So let me see if I can get that to work on all three of them at the same time. Okay, Dreamy.
I'm here. I'm here.
So you heard that all three of them said I'm here. So these can all be voice controlled.
Sorry, I can't understand. You can open the app for all available voice commands.
When you open that app, the voice controls are there, which is nice because you can tell it to clean a specific room or specific time. You can set all of the schedules. And I'm going to show you a little bit of the app there. Again, the FE, PE, Ultra, and the Pro Ultra. As far as the cleaning and the wheels and the motors and different things like this, we have a single here. We have a double. We have a double with rubber, gets all the hair detangled. I showed you that earlier. We have the double here with the detangler, and this also has the extension. So it has the AI extension when we come around the corners of the walls. So now we're going to run a little bit of a test. I'm actually going to turn off the other three while I do the L60 Pro. So in the settings, you have a few different options. You can see that the head pops up right here. It is a camera, it has AI in it. You can do a few different options. You can do mopping by itself, vacuuming by itself. You can do mopping before vacuuming. You can do vacuuming before mopping. And so this is kind of the first run. It's going to start cleaning and going through it. And this will be a little bit more systematic as it goes back and forth into the different areas. One of the things that's great about all four of these versions is when the battery gets low, it'll actually go back to the charging station and start charging. Okay. It will also talk back to you regularly and tells you where everything's at, where everything's going. One of the things that we mentioned earlier is this will actually take pictures. This will take camera footage too. You can actually remote control this manually. You can also do that with the L60 Ultra. This one though has the Smart AI pet detector, so it'll take screenshots, it'll take video of your pets, it'll send them to you, and it will kind of basically avoid them. And so it's now going to systematically go back and forth to the different areas and start cleaning. I have it set up where it will just do the vacuuming first and then the mop. And what you'll see is basically going through its area, and it's now going to systematically start cleaning. Now we're in vacuum mode where I've just turned on the vacuum. And then afterwards we'll do the mop. It will do both at the same time. It'll take a little bit longer. You can see that it's actually going to go around the edge of the rug. I purposely did this room because it's actually identifying the difference between the wood and the carpet. And it really should just do this whole rug that we're on because the rest of the floor is wood, and over here we have a little bit of tile. Again, in the 360 Pro Ultra version, We have 35,000 PA suction power. It's getting the edges here. Notice we have a little bit of avoided spots over here. This is kind of a little dog mat over here. It's going to go around all of these individual posts. You'll see it's got a low profile so it can go underneath the furniture. So it recognizes carpet or a rug and it'll turn on the high-powered vacuum. And then when it's done, it will basically go back to, we're just doing a vacuum right now, go back to regular mode after it's done with the carpet or the rug. And you'll see as we go on the carpet here, it should do the same thing again. Okay, so we're gonna give this a couple passes. You can see we've got all the Fruity Pebbles right here on the carpet. The light automatically turned on when it gets a little bit darker. That's something that you should also notice. Got a little bit of mess with Fruity Pebbles. Clean them all up, except for right outside of that track. You'll see the light comes on down there on the other end. Go right to that edge and then come right back up and pick up any pieces. There we go. It's coming all the way down straight at us. Okay, so we finished cleaning the rug. It's returning to the dock. We're actually gonna go and do a mop now. I did these separately just so I could show you. It took about 14 minutes to vacuum all of this area, and then we'll see how long it takes to do the mop. Obviously, this is gonna dock on its own. Now, one of the things that you'll notice that's great about these magnetic mops right here is that they just stick on the bottom right there, these two mop heads. And so when the robot goes back to get ready to mop, it'll actually pick these two up, get water on them, and then go and mop in the kitchen. So we've just started the mopping, and you can see now that the mop heads are not on there. We've also added, so right in here, it's basically taking the water out. These are wet, as you can see. And then what it'll do is it takes a few hours to dry. So when you do the combination, you want to make sure that you do the vacuum first and the dry second. And again, we've already talked about this, but there's no hair in here. We've done a full vacuum of this room, a full mop of this room. It's absolutely fantastic that it'll just do all this by itself. The fluid right in here. And it is going to position and then start mopping. And again, it can tell the difference between the carpet and it's going to start mopping. So I'm actually just going to have it do the kitchen, which is all the way over there. So it should just kind of start heading over to the kitchen. We're not going to have it do this whole floor. Okay, so here's my final thoughts on the 4 different models: the base, the mid, the high, and the flagship. So these 3 have voice controls. You can see from the cameras, I've showed you those early on. The cameras get better as you move up different levels. We have animal detection 4.0, animal detection 5.0. We have 30,000 PA, 30,000 PA, 35,000 PA, 35,000 PA. This has the AI detection. It's going to be fast to get through everything. It's going to avoid all of the things that are on the floor. It'll map out the room in a few minutes. This takes a little bit longer. When we talk about the AI, not only does it have the AI built into the camera, it has the AI built into the stepping wheels that will step up and over things. It also has the corner AI tool. And with the mopping, it does that as well. It'll extend the mopping out to the corners when it notices that it's not hitting everything. Now, not to say that these other 3 are not fantastic. They also have self-cleaning. This has self-cleaning. This has self-cleaning right here. And again, this is the Pro Ultra. This is the L60 Ultra. This is the PE right here, which is the Performance Edition, and the FE right here, all the way to the right. So depending on your budget, what you're looking for, I think if you're going to go with a high end, all of these, in my opinion, are high end as opposed to other models. The difference between the 2 models, you're actually just going to have to check on the website. But I think jumping from the PE version to this or this is going to be your best bet. The differences between the PE and the FE, in my opinion, are not big enough to make that jump. If you're going to jump from the PE to the FE, I recommend going to the Ultra, but ultimately, this is where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. This is going to clean the fastest. It's going to have dual voice controls. You can have settings, you can have timers, you can have it where when you're about to come home, the house is clean before you come home. We went through all of those settings. If you're looking for a robot vacuum that just kind of does its thing without any problems or any questions, this ultimately is going to be your best buy, but it depends on you and your budget and what you need in your home.